Hello, fabulous friends and fans. Welcome to this special series of videos on natal planets conjunct the nodes and transiting planets conjunct the nodes. Originally, when I created these videos, they ended up being over an hour long where I went through the sky and talked about each of the planets. Now, what I've done is I've edited these videos down so that you can get right to the information that you want. Look at the exact planet that you want. I want to thank you so much for watching, and thank you especially for the suggestions that you guys give me on the videos that you want to see in the YouTube comments, on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and of course my website, nadiyashah.com. Please do keep those questions, suggestions, interactions, and positive energy coming. It really does mean so much to me. And if you like these videos, please share them. And of course, let me know online. Enjoy. Let me talk about the luminaries as well before I move on to the transpersonal planets. Moon conjunct the south node. Well, as it sounds, it can make a person, again, all else being equal, quite needy in the early part of life, okay? So emotionally needy, possibly as well, the mom, very heavy karmic burden associated with mom sometimes with that. Again, depending on how it's aspected. For example, if there's a tough aspect happening with Saturn in the chart, then that would further enforce this idea. But if the moon is making, let's say, a really positive aspect to the sun in the chart, then that's going to play out differently because there's a sense of support from the mom, even though at times it can feel a little draining because ultimately the south node kind of drains us of energy. Even though at times it can feel draining, still there is an element there because the sun, if the sun is positively aspecting that moon, still there's an understanding, there's an ease with which we're able to deal with that energy. But ultimately, when the North Node, I think, because the purpose of the incarnation is to honor the North Node, at some point in the evolution of that soul, you are going to have to come to understand what a healthy relationship with the mom archetype is, what is a healthy way to understand care and emotional fulfillment as well, and to choose forms of emotional fulfillment that truly are fulfilling and not just very immediate. And so the moon, for example, is our stomach. It's food as well, comfort food as well. And so one lesson, I think, for a lot of people out there, actually, but one lesson is about using food in a way, especially we see this in the Western world, using food to actually nourish as opposed to using food just as an immediate sort of emotional comfort. So there's that balance there. And when you have moon conjunct the south node, chances are you go to that moon for emotional comfort. You go to food for emotional comfort. Again, all else being equal, this could be different if the moon is aspecting, again, hard angle to Saturn might change that. But all else being equal, might go to food for the emotional without really being connected to what it is ultimately that's going to nourish you more deeply. But then that knowledge does come through that experience. That knowledge does come, especially in the later part of life. Moon conjunct the North Node is really about understanding emotional fulfillment and the value of pursuing that. It is about attracting mom figures, if you will, people who genuinely care about you, who feel an emotional connection to you, who want to mother you as well, but in healthy ways, in ways that are still adult. Whereas connected to the South Node, you may attract mom figures, but not necessarily in a healthy way. This could be people who want you to need them, and that can be a little challenging. However, Moon conjunct the North Node isn't about that. It's more about the mom archetype. Knowing that you are unconditionally loved becomes a part of the karmic blessings that you welcome in. And women tend to figure very prominently in your success, in your evolution, and in your path towards moving towards greater love and greater wisdom, especially women in a position of authority.